crushing plant and steam boiler to the foot of the hill known as Razorback. Men then fastened rope as thick as their arms to tree trunks and hauled the boiler up the steep hill. Mount Morgan's profits helped change the world. Its main shareholder invested his gains in a search which led to the discovery of the first big oil field in the Middle East, one of the crucial economic and strategic events of the 20th century. From 1891 to 1896, Charters Towers was the most productive gold field in Australia and the second largest city in Queensland. The first of our gold fields to attract large-scale British investment, Charters Towers boasted, "Gold, nothing but gold. Very soon the greatest gold city in the world will be Charters Towers, Queensland." Very soon, Charters Towers had lost its crown to Kalgoorlie on the other side of the continent. The prospectors who discovered the gold fields of Western Australia were a special breed of men. Men who dug for gold on fields from Victoria to the north of Queensland, whose only life was mining camps and gold. Men who were accustomed to hardship. It was just as well they were so tough, for Western Australia's richest gold fields would be found in parched, semi-desert country. The rush to Kalgoorlie started in 1892, and tens of thousands would walk, push barrows, and ride bikes all the way to Kalgoorlie. It was the start of the last great gold stampede. Their first sight of Kalgoorlie was the cloud of fine dust from dry blowing, a method of panning for gold without water. And the first sound they heard was the peculiar rattle of gravel falling on tin dishes. Water was so precious that men washed their clothes by belting them with a stick. Kalgoorlie's tents were often empty as prospectors pushed out even further into the dry red plains. Some died of thirst, and some became rich. At Kalgoorlie, 3 Irishmen found Australia's richest goldfield. When Paddy Hannon announced his Kalgoorlie discovery, he was carrying 8 pounds weight of newfound gold. Most of Kalgoorlie's gold was buried far too deep for small teams of men. Large and costly mining operations would be needed here. Investors had to be enticed to Kalgoorlie. They had to take bold risks, and they did. Kalgoorlie became a magical name on the London Stock Exchange in the mid-1890s. Kalgoorlie's main street, Hannon Street, had open-air stock exchanges, and over 1,000 men would gather there to bid for shares. Kalgoorlie behaved as if the boom was permanent. Its racecourse was a fashion parade. Hotels served Kalgoorlie brewed beer in the bars and chilled French champagne in the dining rooms. While the history of mining in the 19th century was written mainly in gold, other metals were being mined in scattered parts of the continent. South Australia had won a fortune in copper even before the rush for Ophir's gold.